Lakshmi. Yeah. Okay. Let us begin our metta meditation. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hate or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desires for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. With this metta thought in mind, let us continue our silent meditation. dukkha patta cha nidukkha, bhaya patta cha nibhaya, soka patta cha nisoka, hontu sabbe pipanino. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear-struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. So too may all beings be. With this metta thought in mind, let us try to focus mind on the little talk that I am going to give on the next factor of enlightenment. We have discussed the mindfulness factor of enlightenment, investigation factor of enlightenment, and the effort factor of enlightenment. We mentioned when we make effort, it is a totally spiritual effort, mental effort. As we investigate and make effort, we don't get agitated or excited, but becomes calmer and more peaceful there, because that is not an effort we make to compete with somebody and to achieve something material. This is an effort we make to liberate ourselves from various negative mental states. And therefore, Buddha called it uppajjiti pīti nirāmisang. Pīti nirāmisang. Niramisa is a non-carnal happiness, joy or rapture. Some people use the word rapture, some people use the word joy. So, non-carnal joy or non-carnal rapture arises. Non-carnal means the joy, non-carnal rapture or joy means joy or rapture that arises without greed, hatred or delusion, that can arise through the sensory objects. When senses and sensory objects come together, consciousness arises and contact arises, then feeling arises. This feeling can be pleasant, unpleasant or neutral, depending on the not only on the object, but on the way how we have developed our own mental states. Sometimes we know when we see an object, when 10 people see an object, they may have 10 different perception, different attitude, different views. Depending on that, joy or rapture or happiness or unhappiness, grief and anything, any emotion can arise depending on their own mental state. And that mental state arises depending on the object, sensory object. Now this joy or rapture arises not from anything outside. This rapture arises when one sees things in his mind becomes clearer and clearer and clearer, and when he begins to see the truth, this rapture or joy arises. So it is a very great joy. It is not excitement. It is calm, smooth satisfaction that comes from a conviction that you are really getting somewhere, really discovering something very important. It is a feeling of serene and swelling is a sort of a delight. And when the energy factor of enlightenment is strong, joy arises as a factor of deeper concentration meditation. This stage of deep concentration meditation called jhana. Jhana we have discussed in detail in several books. One is the jhana is described in the book called Beyond Mindfulness. Beyond Mindfulness in plain English. In that book, we have explained in some detail. So here we don't have to go into that. So the joy arises in a very sort of very deep. It is a very deep series of tranquilizing mental state, very harmonious and powerful, as mentioned earlier in a description of jhana that we mentioned in that book. So as we progress through the successive stages of jhanas, the reason why we gain joy is that we overcome 5 hindrances and put to sleep, and 10 fetters are naturally neutralized because they have no room in our mind when we are gaining jhana. Of course, this we talk about not mundane jhana, this is supramundane jhana. That makes us make our concentration even stronger. Now, hindrances and fetters. Hindrances are subdued, overcome, and fetters are temporarily put to sleep. That is a very calm, relaxing, peaceful mental state. When the hindrance of ill will, for instance, is overcome, our meditation becomes joyful. Hindrance of greed and hindrance of anger, both are disturb our mind and make it agitated and excited. So this emotion when they are subsided, this particular emotion relaxes the body and relaxes the mind. it generates a feeling of serenity and peace. As we develop this state, as our concentration deepens further, we experience 5 increasingly intense feeling of joy. 5 stages of joy. They are called feeling of joy. Khuddaka. In Pali it's called khuddaka. Khuddaka means minor joy. Then khanika, the momentary joy. And ubbega, showering joy. And uplifting joy. And all pervading joy. So, minor joy, as the mind is not disturbed, minor joy not disturbed and not even verbalized. That is, this is very important, delicate moment to balance the mind. When it is balanced, it is not disturbed. When it is not disturbed, it is very calming state. Momentary joy is like a lightning flashing moment after moment. Showering joy descends on the body and then disappears, like waves breaking on the seashore. Uplifting joy, you feel that your entire body is lifting from the ground. So it is important to keep in mind that the joy we experience in the initial stages of jhana is not the same as the pleasurable feelings of everyday life. And even within the jhana state, the joy that arises, that is one of the 7 factors of enlightenment, arises only as a result of the development of 3 previous factors. 3 previous factors of enlightenment, as we mentioned, are mindfulness, investigation, and energy. The mindfulness combined with investigation shines light into the dark area of our mind. Energy drives our tireless effort to see reality as it is. When we mention anytime see reality as it is, reality is that things do not stay fixed. Nothing stays fixed. Everything is moving. So, when everything is moving and we see this reality, then all other obstacles to the attainment of enlightenment will be removed from the mind. So as obstacles subside, the special kind of joy that is factor of enlightenment arises in the mind. This joy is more durable than the joy that we experience in the initial stage of jhana. You can see in the jhanic attainment, you may have certain degree of joy which does not last too long. But as you continue the practice, focusing mind on your experience, all the time remember that you don't try to get excited saying that I am now in such and such a stage, I am making a progress and so forth. Without doing any of these things, you just keep watching what is happening. And then because it becomes from understanding, enlightenment joy never becomes weak. So this factor does not arise all of a sudden. It remains stronger because it arises from your understanding, and it doesn't become weak or fade away like any other kind of joy. When we reach this state, we remain joyful all the time. All the time, when this joy pervades, remains in the mind, when we do not get disturbed. So, here it is it sounds like contradictory because joy arises from energy. Normally, when energy arises, many people relate it to various other emotional factors, and then they get excited and they become more and more restless and so forth, because that energy is also carnal energy, not spiritual energy. Carnal energy lead you to do something physical. Since this is spiritual energy, it works just the other way around. It makes you relaxed and calm and peaceful. That is why how it becomes factor of enlightenment. And the Buddha said that even this factor of joy, factor of enlightenment, has nutriments, supporting factors. It does not arise without any sustenance, food. So Buddha asks, and what bhikkhus is the nutriment for the arising of the unarisen enlightenment factor of rapture? In this case, we use the word rapture, and for the fulfillment by development of the arisen enlightenment factor of rapture. Now, for arising the enlightenment factor of joy, there must be some kind of supporting, they call nutriments. And then there must be the nutriment sustenance continuously supply. If sustenance is cut off, the enlightenment factor joy also will be cut off, will be interrupted. Therefore, once we get the nourishment for enlightenment factor joy, to arouse it, unarisen enlightenment factor joy to arise. Once it is arisen, the nutriment must also continue to supply. So the Buddha said, there are bhikkhus things that are the basis for the enlightenment factor of rapture. Frequently giving careful attention to them is the nutriment for the arising of the unarisen enlightenment factor of rapture, and for the fulfillment by development of the arisen enlightenment factor of rapture. Now, Buddha said, he did not mention here a very specific thing. He simply said that there are factors, and giving careful attention to them is the nutriment for the rising of unarisen enlightenment factor. What are these things that support or becomes a nutriment for the enlightenment factor, for us to give careful attention, frequently giving careful attention to what kind of things are there. What are those things? They are called anusati. Anusati. There are 10 anusatis. Anusati means reflection, recalling, remembering the something. Here anusati number one, first reflection is Buddhanusati. Buddhanusati. Reflecting the qualities of the Buddha. Every quality of the Buddha is calming, soothing, tranquilizing our mind. No quality of the Buddha can make us agitated, excited, and anything negative. Everything in the Buddha's quality is encouraging, uplifting, calming, soothing. For instance, when we think of the Buddha's compassion, Buddha's metta, Buddha's wisdom, Buddha's patience, our mind gets some influence from those qualities. When we say Buddha when he was practicing patience, when he was abused, when he was insulted, he remained so calm, relaxed and peaceful. That is why the Buddha said after enlightenment he gave monks instructions for 20 years. He said, Kanti paramang tapo. Patience is the greatest austere practice. Patience. So, when we think of this quality, we get encouragement to be patient. That is one factor we have to reflect very frequently, Buddhanusati. Then the second, Dhammanusati, reflection on the qualities of Dhamma. Dhamma is universal, all-pervasive. There is no distinction between time and persons or places. It is universal, it is true everywhere, any time, for any thing. It is true. Sanghanusati, third. Sanghanusati is reflection of the qualities of very enlightened, noble Sangha. They are not fighters, not quarrelers, they were not bickering. they were living in harmony. Harmonious life they live. When we think of the Sanga's harmony, Buddha said, Sukha Sangasa Samaggi. Sukha Sangasa Samaggi. Harmonious monastic life brings happiness. Harmonious. This harmony is 100% smooth, like everything is in a state, in a balanced state. Just like when the plane is flying at a cruising elevation in the air, it is so no bumping, no turbulence, it goes very smoothly. That is how the community experience when the Sangha is in harmony. So, if we have to reflect on that, that reflection itself is calming our mind, bringing joy, happiness. Then Chaganusati. Chaganusati means reflection on the giving, generosity, letting go. When we reflect on letting go, friends, it gives us such a great relief. When we reflect on letting go, when you hold, you feel tight. When you let go, you feel relaxed. You feel relaxed. Everybody who practices generosity gets this feeling. This is universal. It is universal whether you profess one religion or another, one politics or another. It doesn't matter. The moment you let go, that moment you experience great relief. Then Silanusati, Sila. Once practicing certain noble principles and then determined to continue that practice, that gives a great relief. Then Upasamanusati. Upasama means tranquilling, calming the mind, reflecting on that. And the metta, practicing meditation on loving friendliness, compassion, and so forth. When one reflects on this and giving frequent attention to them, the mind becomes very calm, relaxed and peaceful and full of joy. They have nothing to do with the mundane things. We are doing all these things not to gain something in return in material, not to gain anything in material, but simply letting go of this and reflecting on them, not under any compulsion, not under any obligation, not depending on somebody's instigation, but on our own, in our mind, we reflect on them. That arouses our joy. And this joy repeated again and again with mindfulness, with investigation, with effort, this joy becomes very... What is that? This joy becomes a very powerful mental factor of enlightenment. So, friends, now I think it is the time for me to stop, and we have started this with metta, and we want to continue this metta and want to end this session with metta. And may all those who are in suffering from COVID-19 and as we hear from media, it is devastating countries. Many people died, and many people are suffering. I don't have to explain that. We want to wish them to relieve from that suffering and return to their normal life very quickly. And those who support them, like very compassionate doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs, various things that they are doing to help these patients. May they continue their wonderful, marvelous, selfless service, and may they not get affected by this virus and continue their noble service. And others who are very generously supporting and to various projects to help these people. Now, vaccine, we heard, is already invented, and let that be distributed as quickly as possible all over the world, and let people use them and be free from their sickness. And there are many leaders who are promoting this and supporting them with wisdom, understanding, and determination. And other leaders who have not yet done, let them be wise, compassionate, and let them make right decision very quickly to help these people to get rid of this virus. Overall, I want to wish all of them, everybody, let us wish peace, happiness, and liberation from suffering. With this metta thought, let me end this morning session, and I see you